fellow crocheters, this is here from theworkingyarn.com. Today I'll be showing you how to make this cozy basket infinity scarf. For the written pattern, head over to my website. A link will be provided in the description below. This scarf will use the basket stitch for a lacy look and a variegated yarn where the yarn will change color on its own, as you can see. I've also made this scarf really long so that it can be wrapped around 3 times over the wearer's neck. The finished scarf measures 11 inches by 43.5 inches seamed and 11 inches by 87 inches unseamed. It's worked back and forth instead of in the round, and we'll seam the ends together in the end. For this project, you'll need a 5mm H-hook, scissors, a darning needle, tape measure, and if you like to keep track of the rows, or which row you're on, you can use a locking stitch or a row counter. I'll be using 2 Karen cakes in the buttercream colorway. You can use another colorway or another yarn to achieve the look that you like for this scarf, but if you use another yarn, just make sure that it recommends the H hook. And if you want to make it the scarf into a cowl, 1 Karen cake will be enough. To start off, we'll make a slip knot and chain 41 stitches. If you want the scarf to be narrower or wider, the basket stitch is a multiple of 6 stitches plus 5 stitches. So I'll chain 36 stitches and then add 5 more stitches to the foundation chain to make a slip knot. And this is how I do it. Take my 2 fingers, wrap the yarn around once, and then wrap the yarn around twice. Take my hook under the first yarn, over the second, and then I'll bring it under the second. Take my fingers out and then just pull through. You want 6 to 8 inches of the yarn, so that way you can weave in the ends later and securely secure your project so that the ends don't unravel. So to make the foundation chain, you wrap the yarn once, pull through that loop, and there goes 1 chain. Wrap the yarn around once, pull through, 2. Wrap the yarn around once, pull through, 3 chains. So 4, 5, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. So now I add the plus 5. 37, 38, 39, 40, 41. There's your foundation chain. So you're going to add 2. These 2 plus the one before it will make your turning chain for the next row. Not counting this loop on the hook. From the 5th chain from the hook, you're going to do a V-stitch. And a V-stitch is 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So to make a double crochet, wrap the yarn around once, insert the hook, wrap the yarn around once, pull through, wrap the yarn around once, pull through the first 2 loops, wrap the yarn around once, pull through the last 2, and there's your double crochet. So chain 1, do another double crochet into the same chain, wrap the yarn around once, insert the hook, wrap the yarn around once, pull through, wrap the yarn around once, pull through the first two, wrap the yarn around once, pull through the last 2 loops. Then we're going to skip 2 chains, 1, 2, and in the next chain we'll do another V-stitch. Wrap the yarn around once, insert the hook, wrap the yarn around once, pull through, wrap the yarn around once, pull through the first 2 loops, wrap the yarn around once, pull through the last 2 loops for your double crochet. Chain 1, and then do another double crochet into the same chain. Okay, skip, and then we're going to repeat this pattern all the way until the end of your foundation chain until you have 2 chains remaining. So double crochet, we're going to skip 2, double crochet into the next chain, chain 1, double crochet into the same, skip 2 chains, double crochet into the next chain, chain 1, double crochet into the next chain, into the same chain. We're going to skip 2 now and double crochet into the next chain. Chain 1, double crochet into the same chain, skip 2, double crochet into the next, chain 1, double crochet into the same chain, skip 2 chains, double crochet into the next, chain 1, double crochet into the same chain, skip 2 chains, double crochet into the next, chain 1, double crochet into the same chain, skip 2 chains, double crochet into the next, chain 1. Ooh, I split my yarn there. Let me just, don't want to do that. There it goes. So skip 2, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet into same chain, skip 2, and then into the next a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, skip 2, double crochet, chain 1, a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, skip 2, double crochet into the next, chain 1, double crochet into the same chain, and now we have 2 chains remaining. So we're just going to do skip 1 chain, and in the last chain we're just going to do 1 double crochet. And there is your first row. So for the second row, we're going to turn our work. We're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. we're going to skip the first 2 stitches, and in the chain space of the the single V-stitch, so that this chain space right here, we're going to do a double V-stitch. So 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets, all in that chain space. So 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, second double crochet, chain 1, the first double crochet, second double crochet. So there is your double V-stitch. So we're going to chain 1, we're going to skip the next V-stitch, and in the next V-stitch we're going to do a double V-stitch, and we're going to repeat this pattern until the end. So I'll skip that V-stitch, double crochet, second double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet, second double crochet, chain 1, skip this V-stitch into the next, chain 1, 2 double crochets, chain 1, skip this V into the next chain space, 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets, chain 1, skip this V into the next V, stitch 1 double crochet, second double crochet, chain 1, 2 more double crochet into that chain space, and then chain 1. Skip that V stitch into the next, 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets, chain 1. I'm going to skip this V stitch, and here's our last V stitch. So we're going to do 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets, instead of doing another chain 1, we're going to do a double crochet into the top of the turning chain, and that is the 3rd chain. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go through both loops and work a double crochet, and that is the end of row 2. So for row 3, we're going to turn our work. We're going to chain 3, and then we're going to work a V-stitch into the chain space of each of the double V's and in between the double V stitch. So into this chain space, we're going to work 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet. Onto the next chain space, 1 double crochet, chain one double crochet, onto the next, one double crochet, chain one double crochet, next chain space, one double crochet, another, then the chain one, and then another double crochet. So next chain space, one double crochet, chain one double crochet, next chain space, one double crochet, chain one double crochet, next chain space, one double crochet, chain one double crochet, next chain space, one double crochet, and then a chain one double crochet, double crochet into the next chain space, chain one, double crochet into that same chain space, one double crochet, chain one double crochet to the same chain space. Almost at the end. So one double crochet into the next chain space, chain one more double crochet into that chain space, one double crochet into the next chain space, chain one double crochet to that same space, on to the next, one double crochet, chain one double crochet. So in that turning chain space, the top, 1, 2, 3, we're going to do a double crochet. And that is row 3. Because of these V stitches, it works pretty fast. So row 4, we're going to turn our work, chain 3, and then we are going to do the double V stitch, but first we're going to do a double crochet into that top double crochet that we just did in row 3. So first stitch, so we're going to go through those first 2 loops, do a double crochet, and we're going to chain 1. So it's almost like the last half of the V stitch. And then we are going to skip this V stitch and then work a double V stitch into the chain space of the next. So skip this one onto the next, a double V stitch. So 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets into that same chain space. Chain 1. Skip this V onto the next, and we're going to keep doing that until the end. 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets, chain 1, skip the next V stitch, the one after that, 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets to the same chain space, chain 1, skip the next V-stitch and the next one after that. So 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets, chain 1. Skip the next V-stitch and the next one, 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets, chain 1. Skip this V-stitch onto the next, 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets, oops, and then chain 1. Here's our last V, but we are going to skip this one and into the top of the turning chain, 1, 2, 3, we're going to work 2 double crochets to that same chain. There you go. I'm going to go through the both loops. It's 1 double crochet, and then to the same one, the last double crochet. And that is row 4. So to make row 5, you want to turn your work, and we're going to do, it's going to be a repeat of row 3. So we're going to chain 3, and we're going to work a V-stitch into each of the chain spaces. So 1, double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet. Next chain space, 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet, one double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet. Next chain space, 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet. Next 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet into the next chain space, chain 1, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet to the next chain space, chain 1, 1 double crochet into that same chain space, 1 double crochet to the next chain space, chain 1, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet into the next chain space, chain 1, 1 double crochet, next chain space, 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet into that same chain space, 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet, next chain space, 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet, and then we're at our last chain space. So 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet, and then into the top of that turning chain space. So 1, 2, 3, we're going to work a double crochet. And that is the end of row 5. So to continue, you just want to repeat rows 2 to 5. So repeat row 2, 3, 4, and 5 over and over again until your scarf measures double of your desired length of the infinity scarf. Since we'll be folding it in half and then seaming the ends together at the end. So, but you also want to end in row 5, so to complete the pattern, and you want this straight edge because when we fold it in half, it's just easier to line up the stitches together to seam. And if you need to review the rows, how to do rows 2 through 5, again, just rewind the video and watch it as many times as you need. We'll meet back up again once the scarf is finished. So here's my finished scarf. See how the variegated yarn will just change color on its own. I still have 2 more ends to weave in. Well, these 2 ends plus 1 more. And when you weave in your ends, you want to take your time so that way it has a polished look. And you want to weave in the ends where the color will match, so that way it blends into the background. So I'll weave in this end on this part, and then this end with this color, so that way it's seamless and no color is like poking through with a different color. So once you're done crocheting, grab your scissors and you want to snip off 6 to 8 inches, so that way you have good amount to weave in. And then you will yarn over, pull through, so that way you can fasten off. I'll do that again before it makes a knot. Yarn over your hook, pull through that loop, and then tighten that knot. And that way that stitch is fastened off. And you'll take your end with your darning needle, thread it. And now you're gonna weave in your ends. So the way I weave in my ends is that I like to take the yarn on a journey. And with the darning needle, it has a turned up point. It's just easier to pick up the yarn as you go through. Some will go back and forth on the same row. I like to go across, then under, across, down, and then back again. That way, no matter how many times you wash your scarf, none of the ends are gonna come out. It's good and stuck. Just wanna go past this row just a bit more, so that way I can weave in my ends in the row below once it changes to this color. And now at this point you have a nice long scarf, but to make the infinity scarf you want to line up your stitches one end to the other end. Ooh, that was not close to. Go. and then we're going to do the whip stitch to seam it together. So you take yarn and your darning needle. You want, because you're going to have another end to weave in, so you want a good amount on the other end, and you're going to take one corner to the other corner. So you pick up these 2 loops from the one end and then go to the other 2 loops from the other end. Then go back to the first end, pick up the next 2 loops, and then the next 2 loops from the second end. So you're going to go back and forth. Next 2, line up. First end, second end, back to the first end, depending on your scarf. This is about 11 inches. You may want to have at least 2 to 3 times the yarn. It all depends on the yarn you use. Once you do the last one, what I like to do, I just like to do one more, and then I'll leave like a loop so that way I can pull my darning needle through it to make a knot and then pull tight. And then once more, you want to double knot it just to be secure. And then snip off your end. Six to 8. And then you'll have these 2 ends to weave in. But there you have it. Just turn it inside out. Once you weave in those last ends, you have a nice long infinity scarf. See, in the whip stitch, pretty seamless. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and crocheting this cozy basket infinity scarf. Give it a thumbs up and comment below if you did. If you haven't already, click on the subscribe button below to be kept updated on the latest videos from the working yarn. Wherever you are in the world, happy crocheting! Bye!